it's Shahara. Welcome back to my channel. So, I'm going to be doing another indie vlog. I mean to start this vlog. I've just been busy, but I did start an indie book. I'm reading an art copy. It is not out yet. It is Cowboys and Queens by D.A. Power, the sequel to Squeak, which I've talked about before. I think I might have done a review for it, and I think I mentioned it in a few indie vlogs. So, I'm about halfway into it, and I'm really enjoying it. I love the characters. I love the relationships. It's made me laugh a few times, so that's always nice. And it's just really good so far. Um, like I said, I think I'm about halfway into it, and uh, it's gone more intense than the last one because there's like ghosts and stuff, and there's a new character who can see ghosts. So that's gonna be interesting. Can't wait to see what happens next. So I'll update you when I read more. Hi, so I forgot to update, but a couple of days ago I finished Cowboys and Queens by D.A. Power. I really enjoyed it. It was so good. I haven't rated it yet because it's not out yet, but when it is out, I will rate it and review it. 5 stars. Overall, great. I enjoyed it. I love the friendship between the characters. I love getting more point of views this time around, and I just had a great time reading it. It took a little while just because there was a lot going on this month, but uh, I do know she says she'll send me a signed copy once it is published. So can't wait for that. And yeah, overall great. I'll get more into. I don't get too into it now because it will get more into it in the review. So I will update you next time I read an indie book. I want to read Solving for X this month. It's the only it's the only indie book I really put on my TBR for this month for February. Um, I do want to see if I can read a few others. Though I know Ellie, who is author of Solving for X, has several books that are not too long, so I want to see if I can read some of those. But we shall see. Um, so I will update you when I read another indie book. I recently read several indie books. I haven't actually updated this because I kind of read them all kind of back to back within a couple of days, and it's been a little hard to film because of situations, but I have time now, so I'm trying to get as much filming as I can in, and most of them are short stories, so I was able to actually all of them were a bit shorter, but yeah. So I read The Butter Thief, The Lion's Tooth, and The Way the Cookie Crumbles, as well as My Basset Has Disease Sneasels, which is all kind of a part of the this Basset's children's books by Ellie Lieberman. They were really cute. I rated them and reviewed them on Amazon and Goodreads. I read them on KU, so I also read Busy Bee, also by Ellie Lieberman, um, which was also really cute. And then trying to find the other books. Um, I read Ben's Little Acorn by Barbara Lieberman, and the rest of the series was by Ellie Lieberman, which is Ben's Little Tomato, Peggy's Little Pumpkin, and Barbara's Little Bee. All part of the same series. Then I also read Society's Foundlings, which is I think is more of a novella. Um, but it's about these group of teenagers, I think they were, and like the way society is and the struggles and stuff, which was a really interesting read. I definitely highly recommend it, especially with like things going on now. Like it's definitely an issue. And it was just very nice to see it like in book form and so accurate. And then where's the other one? I lost it. Oh, The Memory Tree, which was also a cute little, I think it was a novella as well, about this grandmother telling her granddaughter about the memory tree, which is a tradition they have, and telling her little stories before she passes, because she was dying, and it was also very sweet and kind of sad. But yeah, those are the indie books I read. I read them really recently. I rated and reviewed them all 5 stars. Definitely highly recommend them all. They were all very cute. Some a little heartbreaking, like The Memory Tree, but yeah, definitely highly recommend them. I will update you again the next time I read an indie book, which I also plan to be reading hopefully this month, Oathkeeper and Solving for X by Ellie Lieberman. I meant to read Solving for X last month, but things happened. But I hope to read them both this month. So I'll let you know when I do. Hey, sorry, this quality's bad apparently where I'm at. Hold on. I think that helped a little bit. So I haven't been able to film because of situations, and actually I think that might have made it worse. um, but I have read three short, two are really short, one's a little short but not too short, indie books since I last updated. I think I updated on my last one all of Ellie's children's books and the Memory Tree and Society's Foundlings that I read. I think I mentioned that in my last updates. It's been a hot minute, but I read Chronically Ill, Chronically Me by Lucy DeRose, and it was really good and informational. It helps you kind of better understand people with chronic illnesses, as she has it. So I highly recommend checking it out. It could help you if you have chronic illness feel less alone, and could help you if you don't understand people with chronic illness and all they have to go through. Um, Definitely should check it out. I also read Fairy Tales Unpicked, I think is the title, by Sophie Browns, and it was really good, a bit different. It was poetry of several different fairy tales. There were several fairy tales, and it was all in poetry form. My favorite was the Little Mermaid one. It was a bit darker, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. um, so definitely check that out as well, especially since it's in the April. Great time to check out all of these indie books that I'm mentioning now, and hopefully have this vlog out by the end of this month. I've been doing this vlog for a minute, for a little bit, but I haven't been reading that much, let alone reading indie books. And the books I have been reading were audiobooks at work, and they weren't indie books. So, um, but yeah, so I'm trying to read more indie books again this month. So definitely check out all the indie books I mentioned in this vlog. And then I also read Solving for X by Ellie Lieberman. Um, it is about zombies, which is fun. It's about the apocalypse, and it's basically about siblings and what they have to go through. And I felt like take away, the fact that they're zombies. I feel like it is very real. I mean, the characters' storylines are always real with Ellie's books, but like I just feel like a lot of the themes and things they have to deal with the council, which is basically I guess their form of the government, it just felt really real to what we have to deal with a lot. And then like trying to silence one of the main characters, and um I love her because she kept going off on them. She was not afraid. But yeah, it just felt when I was reading it, I was like, it just felt like stuff we have to go through in real life and stuff that we have to deal with our government and trying to control us and stuff. So yeah, definitely highly recommend checking that out. It was a fun read, and I will be back to give you another update shortly because I um plan to read another indie book soon. Um, So thank you for watching, and I'll be back with you for another update soon. Hey, so now that I have a house, I'll be able to film more. I'm sorry for the late update. I keep forgetting to update. It's been a little while since I've been able to regularly update for vlogs and stuff. So whenever I have an update, I forget. Um, but I read a novella, an indie novella, called Oathkeeper, on the other hand, by Ellie Lieberman, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the main character and his relationship with his sister. They've had a very real relationship, like they would do anything for each other, they loved each other, but at the same time they fought like siblings and annoyed each other and pestered each other and teased each other. It was very real. And then I loved his relationship with the teller just because they were so sarcastic and sassy towards each other. They did not like each other the slightest, and they were always like just saying little things to get on the other's nerves, and it was hilarious every time they spoke to each other. I was having a good time. I love the dragon, obviously, and I love the magic and the oath keeper magic specifically. It was so interesting. Um, and it was just really good. All in all, I rated it 5 stars and reviewed it. I absolutely loved it, and I loved the characters and their relationships, and the magic and the world, and the action. I absolutely love a good action sequence of battle, and that was always good. So yeah, I definitely highly recommend checking this out. I do hope to start another indie book. Probably not today, but hopefully at least start it tomorrow. I don't know how far I'll be able to get. We'll see. Depends on how I feel. But it's called The Towers of Nine by Alyssa Loutet. I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong, but it's one that's been on my TBR for quite a while, and I've been wanting ever since. She was one of the people I did a author interview back when I was doing those regularly, and her book sounded very interesting, and so I've been wanting to read those for a while, but you know how life gets in the way and stuff, and I haven't been able to. Um, so yeah, I am excited to start those. Like I said, I hope to start it tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know how that goes. Hello. So I forgot to mention, but the other day I started the Towers of Nine, which is the first book in Towers of Mystery, which I mentioned that I was going to be starting, and I did. I got, I want to say 60 pages through, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I ended up stopping because I was getting late and work and everything, but I do want to read more. I haven't in the last couple of days because this week has just been so exhausting. Work has been so tiring. I've been so tired like every day. I haven't done much writing or reading at all except for audiobooks I listen to at work. Like that's the only reading I've been getting done because I've been too tired for my eyes to focus on anything. Like I have trouble even writing. Like I was trying to write just now and I was like I can't do this. Not today. I'm so tired. But I hope to this weekend. I will be more fresh this weekend because I won't have work. So I have plans Sunday, but I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done Saturday, maybe Sunday morning before my plans. So um, hopefully, because I also want to get a lot of writing done. So it depends, but I do want to at least get halfway done, if not finish the first book. So I'll definitely let you guys know how that goes when I do start. Hey, sorry I haven't been really updating. I haven't been really reading. I've had a bad couple of weeks. Really hard, really stressful. So I haven't been able to read. But I think about 100-ish pages into Towers of Nine, and I am really loving it. I hope to finish it this week. So I'll definitely let you guys know when I do, and how what I think. I want to read books 2 and 3 back to back after the first book, depending on how if I if things get better, then I hope I can. Cause I think like the first 2 books are out so far. I think she's like almost done with book 4, or yeah. So, but yeah. So I'll let you guys know how it goes and what I think. Hey, so I forgot to mention, but I recently, but I just finished the other day, better read a indie book. It's the 5th book in the Mantis Clan series. I know I've talked about it on my channel a few times, and I loved it. The battle sequences were amazing. I always loved the gore. A character that was introduced. Crap, when was she introduced? Book 2 or book 3? Um, but she came out as trans, so she is now she, and has a new name that's similar to her old name. And the characters were just so supportive right away, and I love it. I love how it, because one thing no one talks about is like when trans people come out, even if you're supportive, sometimes it can be hard if you've known this person for years to just change how you have always called them. And I really like how this did address that. It's like people who were obviously supportive and were okay with her being trans was like, um, just let you know I might misname you, misgender you, for a couple times until I can get used to it. And she was always like, yeah, that's fine. I understand this is like a huge change. I just absolutely love that that was actually addressed. So I feel like it's never addressed. Because as much as you support somebody, it can be hard to do that. Like my mom is still getting used to non-binary and trans, and she's very supportive. She believes in just being yourself, and um, I know when we first started watching the Monster High Generation 3, the new Monster High, the live action movies and the animated TV show that's going on right now, um, Frankie, who has been a character since the first generation, obviously, was always female. But in this generation, they are non-binary, and it took my mom several times before she could remember. Because she was always so used to calling Frankie she when she referred to the character from the original generation. Um, but now she's pretty good at actually remembering Frankie's non-binary. So even if there are a couple times which I haven't actually heard her accidentally misgendered Frankie in a long time, but every so often she'll be like, wait, wait, wait. She'll call Frankie she, and they'll be like, wait, wait, they. So like she was trying, but that's the point. And I just really like that that was addressed, and how Nunani, I hope I'm saying her name right, um, was okay with it because she understood like, yeah, this is a shock. So as long as they're trying, that's all that matters. And yeah, but anyways, like I said, the gore, I'm always here for gore. I love horror. I don't read horror books that much, but I love watching horror movies. Um, and I just love battle scenes. They're always so good. Um, Another character that's trying to kill ships, I absolutely hate. I hate the trope. I don't know if it's a trope, but sorry, it's really late. I'm about to go to bed. I do want to film this before I forget. Especially since I hope to read more in another indie book tomorrow. So I want to update this now so I can update that tomorrow. So I'm tired because it is really, really late and I'm actually about to go to bed. I was getting my TV ready and I was like, wait a minute, I forgot I was supposed to film this. So anyways, yeah. And but I lost what I was saying. I remember. Okay, so I hate the I don't even know if it's a trope, but it's something I've seen enough that I guess it could be considered a trope. But it's like the villain who's obviously a villain, right? Kills and does not care for whatever reason, whether it's because he thinks he's doing it right or just because he doesn't care. He knows he's a monster and he just does not care. But then when the heroes are about to kill him, he starts begging them not to and be like, please, please, please don't kill me and stuff. Like they don't want to die, but they don't care if that they killed other people who obviously didn't want to die either, and it's just a thing that always annoyed me every time I see it. I don't think I've seen it too much, but like a few times enough for me to consider it a trope. And the villain did that, and I was just so ready to jump into the book and just smack the crap out of him. I was so happy when Alana killed him, and I was scared for a minute that Alana was gonna die, but she did not, and that made me happy because I like her. She's so sweet, and she blamed herself for this anyway for why the ships died because he kind of used her to build the weapon that he needed to kill them because she's very good with that kind of stuff, building like machinery and stuff. And yeah, so I was happy she survived, and I there and the outreach youth center was attacked, which made me so upset because I love the outreach youth center. It is like a place for shifts and biological shifts. Shifts have superpowers and biological shifts haven't, so their superpowers made their outsides look different, transform kind of like mutants, I guess. Like Lahari, she's kind of like a lizard girl. I love Lahari, but yeah, and so it's kind of for like shifts and biological shifts who are kids because a lot of shifts and biological shifts get disowned if they don't have a supportive family once they realize they're shifts because it takes a bit while for their mantis gland that activates their powers that's in their brain to actually activate. So um, so yeah, and because of that, these drag queens, starting with Antipeg, who was introduced in book one, and then Dot, who was introduced book 2 or 3. It was pretty early on, I think. And they're in a relationship, and they run this outreach center for shifts and biologists who need a place to stay. And it's just really sweet. And I love it because 3 new shifts are introduced. I think 1 or 2 of them are biological shifts. One is, and then the other is not. But one of them was a bit older. Same age as a couple people who aren't shifts, or one isn't shift. And um, so they introduced her to these other people that they're friends with, so that she could stay with them. Dozy, who I love, she's one of my favorite characters. She's been on since book 1, and yeah, and I love how Dozy kind of um, is taking in shifts as well. Every time a new shift that is older than the people in the outreach center, she kind of just lets them move in. And I love it because it all started in book 1 when she met Agra. Dozy, when you first meet her, she's pretty much alone. But then she meets Agrel, and I absolutely love their relationship. And Agrel, um, I guess I feel like Agrel kind of helped Dozy open up a bit, because she was a bit more standoffish when she was first introduced than she is now. And I feel like Agrel was just so kind. Like when she first met Lahari, first of all, when she met any shift, she was just really nice. But then when she met Lahari, which I think was the first time she met biological shifts, she looked different. But one thing I loved, I always kind of thought Lahari and Agro would be cute in a romantic way, but sadly Agro died in the end of book 1, so that did not happen. But Agro took one look at Lahari and was like, I think you're look amazing. I think you're beautiful. And it was just really sweet because I feel like that was the first time Lahari actually heard that outside of her father's. And I think being around Agro throughout the events of book 1 opened Dozy up more and made her, I wouldn't say kinder because I don't think she was mean or anything. She was just standoffish. But I think it just helped her open up more and let people in. And now she's kind of like these drag queens and the Mystic and his husband, and how she's letting people in and basically helping shifts and biological shifts every chance she gets, even though she is human and she can be going against them if she wants, because a lot of humans do, but she doesn't. And I do think a part of it was her relationship with Agro changed her for the better. And I absolutely love her growth from the standoffish girl in book 1 who pretty much wanted to be left alone. And like after they met Laurie, um, Lyra, Lyra, however you pronounce her name, Agro wanted to help her, and Dozy was more standoffish and stuff because she always is. Um, but Agrel just wanted to help everyone she could, and it opened Dozy up more. And now even though Agrel's been dead for several books, Dozy is meeting new shifts her age and letting her in and going to the outreach center and helping shifts in any way possible. And she's friends with Lahari, and it's just so beautiful to watch her growth. And I ended up ranting more about this than I meant to. But I just really enjoyed it, and I wanted to talk about it and let you know that I did read it and I loved it. Once I better read it, so it's not actually out yet. So once it is out, I'm gonna rate it 5 stars. Um, I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but I'm sure he will tell me. Um, but yeah, so tomorrow I'm hoping to finish the first book in Towers of Memories because I haven't actually been reading that much. But I'm getting a bit more back into reading and writing, so I'm hoping to finish book 1. I also want to read books 2 and 3, which are um, out. Book 4 is not out yet. I don't know when it's supposed to be out. I know she's finished it, and I'm pretty sure she sent it off to beta readers. So depending on when I finish books 2 and 3, I'll read book 4 after that's out. I The same author of the book I just read, he sent me, I think, books 1 and 2 of his other queer sci-fi series. So I do want to read that soon. I also, I mentioned on my channel before, a series called The Warriors of Brea. I own the first 4 books, they're in storage. And the 5th book, which is also going to be the last book, is coming out, I think September, and the author sent me an art copy. So I want to read. I'm trying to read all my art copies and also finish this one Towers of Memory series. So I hope to finish all that this month. It is technically the 12th because it's 1:38 a.m. and I still haven't actually made it to VR video or wrap up. And honestly, I'm considering if I should this month or just not this month and just make like a wrap up where I talk about the last 2 months and then do TBR for next month. Cause I don't know. I do have a couple videos I have filmed, I just haven't edited them yet. So I need to get those out too, and I have more videos I plan to film. I have a lot of videos for my book too I want to film. It's just I'm waiting until because some of them are like tags or challenges, so I'm just waiting until I can so that I can have my books from storage and bookshelves and stuff like that. But yeah, so anyways, I got a little ranty in this video more than I meant to, so I'll talk to you guys later and update you more about my indie books and how my reading's going. I forgot to mention, but yesterday I finished the Towers of Nine, and I absolutely loved it. Um, they finally moved into Dragon Tower at the end, which I was so happy about. Basically, the plot of this is Seraphina's going to this magic school for the first time, and there's 9 towers, and Dragon Tower is very, 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 very picky with who they choose because the Dragon Tower chooses you, and it's kind of like Hogwarts houses, if you ask me, and like you get picked, like the sort of how it chooses for you. Um, and kind of like that. So the towers choose the students they want, but Dragon Tower's always been so picky that they hardly choose anyone. They're lucky if they choose 1 or 2 students a year. And because of that, they made a rule where only 5 students can. A tower has to have at least 5 students, and the tower hasn't chosen 5 students at once in I think like over 100 years. I don't remember the specific year or anything. And because of it, but then this is the first year that they chose 5 students. So they at first it was very dangerous because Seraphina gets hurt several times, despite the course of the book being like 4 weeks. uh, so there's, so I was happy when they finally moved into Dragon Tower because it took the entirety of the book for them to finally move them into Dragon Tower. And there's also some mysteries with Seraphina. They found out that she might be cursed, which might explain why she's never been able to properly cast magic. Everyone was always like, "Oh, it's because you have a human parent and then a witch parent," but they found out that that's probably not the case. It's probably because she's cursed, which is very intriguing, and I'm very curious about who cursed her and why. So yeah, I very much enjoyed the story, and I definitely highly recommend it. I hope to start book 2 sometime this week. Um, and maybe even finish it this week. We shall see. It depends on my reading mood, but I'm hoping to. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. Hi. So I just wanted to do a quick update on my indie reading. I finally started book 2 to Towers of Dragon, or the Towers of Memory series. This book is called Welcome to Dragon Tower. I got the titles mixed up. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I absolutely love the friend group. They're so chaotic and unhinged, and I absolutely love it. And I love Seraphina. She's so fierce. And Seraphina and Feathers are definitely my favorite friendship. I absolutely love whenever they're together. They're definitely the closest in my opinion. And I and Seraphina and Feathers are both on the Ace and Arrow spectrum. And Seraphina, but in this magical world, there aren't really pride flags. Um, so Seraphina, who grew up in the human world because she has one magical parent, one human parent, um, wore an asexual shirt and nobody noticed except for Russell, who um, is has a asexual and asexual. I mean magical and human parent as well and knew what it meant, and I just love how he made a joke about it and nobody else understood what they were talking about. I don't know why I found that so funny, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It's very interesting, especially with this ghost thing and the curse thing, and yeah, there's a lot going on, and I'm very excited to continue. I'm taking a little bit of break from reading because I want to film a few videos for my YouTube channels. But then after dinner, I might try to get some more reading done, maybe at least another 100 pages or so. So yeah, I'll let you guys know how that goes. Hi, so I haven't read any more Welcome to the Dragon Tower because I have to better read a book. This book 3 in the B series, I mentioned it on my channel, it's by Ellie Lieberman, and I love this series so much. And when she asked me to better read their book, I was obviously like, yes, and I was so happy because I've been wanting to read it, and I've been waiting so long, and I didn't want to wait anymore. It is definitely one of my favorite indie series I have ever read. Um, Honestly, it might be one of just my favorite books ever at this point. Like, I think I'd put it in my top 10 favorite books. I don't know what my top 10 are. I know a few, but like I have to actually list the books because I have no idea what the order would even be right now. But I think it'd be in top 10. I love this series. I love the first book, B, and then the second book, An Impossible Dream, which takes place before B, and then this book, Where the Heart Is, takes place before An Impossible Dream and some during it. I think it's supposed to lead up to B, so you know exactly what happened for the events of B. Because like in B, you were actually away from the palace most of the time because it was following Henry, a prince who ran away, and Ari, a villager, and they were rebelling to overthrow the king. Then in Impossible Dream, you were in the palace, but you were following Sarah's servant. So there's still a lot you missed from the initial royal family, other than whenever she was around Henry, Frau, and sometimes the queen. Um, and then in this book, it's all from the queen's perspective, Clary. So you're seeing uh, where what happened with her, and since so you're more in the center of the actual stuff going on in the palace than you were before, which is an interesting take. And I'm already loving Clary. We didn't see her at all in B because she died at the beginning of it, or like right before the events of B. And then in A Possible Dream, you only got to see her here and there, and it was only whenever Sarah was around her. You heard about her more than you really saw her, because Sarah wasn't like around her too often. But this is completely in her perspective, and it's so interesting because you're also seeing like um, the king's other kids, Henry, that she ends up having, and you get to see how that all plays out. And it's sad because you know, like, she obviously doesn't get her happy ending that she more than deserves, but it's really interesting to see it from her perspective. And I read the first 10 chapters last night, um, and I sent her some notes for it, but I absolutely loved it so far. I do hope to read more later today. Right now, I am currently writing, but I hope this afternoon I can read more. I'm hoping for another 10 chapters. So we'll see how that goes. You know, sometimes things don't always go as you plan, and if I get really into writing, like I hope I am, I might end up just writing all day. It's not even noon yet, and I just started writing a bit ago. So um, yeah, but I do want to read more because I'm absolutely loving it already, and I already feel so bad for her. Like she goes through so much, and the king is just awful. He's definitely up there in my least favorite characters of all time. I think my least favorite characters of all time are obviously Umbridge from Harry Potter, obviously, Nanook or Nak, I might be saying his name wrong, from Seekers, Mary Hightower from Skinjacker Trilogy, um, the Messiah and Abernathy from the Man's Clan series, and then the King from B. Those are probably my top 5 least favorite characters in books of all time as of right now. So yeah. um, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I will let you know when I read more. I also do want to end up reading more Welcome to Dragon Tower. I don't know if that'll be today. I hope to get more of that done tomorrow, maybe even finish it. We'll see. So I'll let you guys know how that goes, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm a little late in updating, so I haven't updated for like at least a week, if not two, but I did do some reading. I did read, I'm like, I think about halfway into Where the Heart Is, which is the book I'm better reading for Ellie Lieberman, and I'm loving it. Um, because I've been busy and stressful, so I haven't been reading much, and I've been really into writing because I really want to finish my night novella. So I've been writing more than reading, but I do hope to finish that soon. I also did finish book 2 of the Towers of Memory series. Um, Welcome to Dragon Tower, and I loved it. It was so good. I absolutely, and the last chapter I was so confused at first because did something different, but then I really liked it because it showed like the beginning of book 1 when they're all at the school for the first time, but in another character's POV. It was interesting, and I think I heard that that book 3 delves more into some other people's POVs rather than just Seraphina's, which would be really interesting. The point of view I most am excited to see is Featherist because he is one of my favorite characters. Him and Seraphina are probably my favorites. I love all the dragons and Angelina, but they two are probably my favorites. So yeah. But I absolutely loved the book, and I'm so excited to start book 3. Book 4 is coming out next month, so I hope to start book 3 soon. I also want to read the last book of The Warriors of Brea. Um, and she sent me the art copy. She's one of the people I used to do those reading and writing sprints with, Tawi. Whenever I haven't really done much of those in a while, but uh, and she sent me her last book, and I'm excited to finally get into it. Um, that book comes out I think in a month or two as well, but I'm so excited for it because I've been waiting for this forever. Um, and I'm really excited to see how it concludes. And yeah, so I'm very excited to get into those. And but I think I'm gonna actually end the reading vlog here and then just continue those two series as well as Where the Heart Is in my when I start the next vlog. Because I don't want this vlog to get too much, and I really want to read these books. So I'm going to um, conclude this reading vlog, and then you can see more of how I feel about these series and stuff in my next vlog that I do. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment what you're reading, and I will chat with you guys below in the comments. Until next time.